Good
Welcome to the
morning.
Spirit Essence Show. I'm Tara Diana, and I am an empowerment medium. I am the hostess with the mostest, and this is where I get the beautiful opportunity to bring to the Spirit Essence gang, to the community, spiritual wellness, holistic community, all the different practitioners that I happen to run across in my work. And today I am so blessed to be able to introduce to you this wonderful woman who's come into my space. She's done a couple of the Soul to Soul summits, and she's just this fantastic, so authentic energy. And I want to introduce you to Carole Franques. And Carole, welcome to my space. Welcome to the energy. What's up, girlfriend?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I'm so appreciative. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Now, Carole, the whole purpose of the Spirit Essence Show is to showcase different practitioners with different modalities and different work that they do in the spiritual, holistic, metaphysical wellness community. And I am excited with you particularly because of your oracle decks. Um, Seriously, you have some of the most beautiful oracle decks. And so I'm wondering if you can tell people just a little bit about why the oracle decks are kind of your thing. In the last summit, you did this whole like these different spreads that blew my mind. So guys, if you are still interested in that summit, hit me up in my I guess go to my webpage and I will get you VIP access to Carole's talk. But talk a little bit about why the oracle cards, why they resonate with you so well, if you don't mind, Boo.
So back in 2010 or so, I started getting sick, and then my marriage was falling apart. And I don't really have family here, so I needed support. And I turned to one particular deck to help me wake up in the morning and get out of bed and not be in my depressed mood and all of that, chaos of life happening. So I used one deck, and then I decided to really create my own decks as part of. I needed a few years to rebuild myself after my divorce. And so I did a lot of healing, and I did a lot of soul searching and this and that. And in 2014, I became an angel card reader certified. And I just uttered to the universe, wouldn't it be cool if one day I had my own deck?
And now you have five.
So yeah, so the first one was published in self-published in 2019. So this is the I Am Oracle, which is feels like it's my journey on paper. And then with each of the affirmation or the affirming statements, I also put one or two questions at the bottom of each card just to kind of help delve a little deeper, because I felt that I needed to know who I was. Everybody else defined who I was. I studied business because my father told me to study
Right?
business. I had no clue what I liked or disliked, or so. And then my biggest decision was my divorce at the age of 42. So feeling controlled my whole life, I felt like I was looking for peace, inner peace, because of the chaotic background that I come from, but
Right.
also freedom of choice, and then meeting my potential. So that's kind of my why, is through self-discovery and self-awareness practices, we get to meet our potential and find our voice. So
Oh,
that's
I
kind of.
love that. Good for you, though. I mean, good for you in taking yes, we're going to talk about, I want you to give the names of those in a second. I just want to celebrate that you took control, right? We get so stuck in like, oh my goodness, this has so much baggage attached to it. If I decide to leave my husband, there's all this that comes with that. So I'm celebrating you for really standing up and being in your power. Carole, show the cards again, though. What's your second deck?
So the second was I was working at the same time the color, working with colors oracle,
Beautiful.
and then the oracle of crystals and gemstones and rocks. This one is I started working with Rosemary Navarro. I sent her some of she has this knack of looking at my pictures and creating a story with it. And when I sent her pictures for the topaz, which is made the cover. She actually had conversations with those sentient beings. And then we decided to work together. And then we worked so well together on this deck that we decided to do the I Am Oracle. Sorry, getting lost with my boxes here. Embracing the consciousness of my I Am. And then we did the I Am a Manifester. So it's almost like each of the card, the way that they got developed is almost like my own journey as well, because it's from self-understanding, from self-discovery, then I go into creating this expansive field, and then I connect with other sentient beings. So then my awareness, my consciousness opens up. So then we go into more of the consciousness expansion. And then after that, it's like you kind of have the layout foundation and you have the understanding. So now it's kind of like, hey, I can manifest. So what do I want to manifest? So
I
so
love that.
and they work independently, but they work beautifully as a team. So that's why we call them the body of wisdom oracles.
Oh, that is so cool, Lovey. And that's so powerful. And I think a lot of metaphysical individuals, including myself, want to make decks. I have 2 decks in progress right now. One is an affirmation deck and one is a fairy runes deck. And so they're because it's expressive, it allows us to be able to be expressive. And I feel with the spreads that you were showing in that summit, that was outstanding. You were doing body spreads that were crazy, like crazy. And when people were talking to me afterwards, they're like, yeah, like that is just some interesting stuff. So you're stepping outside of the box a little bit of that as well. Can you talk just a wee bit about one of those spreads? There was one about the spine.
Sure. So I created. I really believe that the body is the messenger. And for me, I don't think I would be here if I hadn't done the start of my journey. I think I
Mhm.
probably would have dug my own grave. So so through that is I learned to listen to my body, and I think the catalyst to that was when I got pregnant. I received the beautiful book. My mom gifted me the book, The Secret Life of the Unborn Child by Dr. Thomas Verney. And it kind of really opened up my way of looking at things and how my body, or how I can impact other people in terms of energy and everything else, and thought patterns and all of that. So for me, listening to the body is critical.
Right.
And a lot of times, depending on our traumas, we feel disconnected. So it's about recreating that integration of body, mind, and spirit, and really listening. So some of the spread is this one is the 26 points, looking at the inner wisdom within the 26 points of the spine, and then this one is about going through the 45 points of the stomach meridian, because the stomach is about how we digest life. It's kind of like
Oh,
how do we proceed through life. So we may have a lot of gastrointestinal issues, and by looking at what are we storing, what is the body storing, because it's I also work on past lives. I believe in past life, and I work a lot on past lives. So we have to understand that the energy of past, present, and future is just one. So my power is creating the moment now, so then I can create a better reality for myself, and be in health and total optimal well-being. So,
okay, that is powerful. Powerful. And such a different way to work with cards. Like, let's be for real. You need to be like showcased. And so I'm hoping that my Spirit Essence gang will take this and show it to other people, because the body is the vessel, bar none. Without our vessel, we can't do the work that Spirit wants us to do. We can't go into different spaces and create the energetic flow that we need to without that vessel, and the vessel working at its highest and best. So I love that. I really do. I feel like we need to step into the full power of 3: body, mind, and spirit, and you are doing that with your cards. Each one
it's
of those.
it's all about heightening. For me, I'm very clairsentient, so it's all about heightening our senses, so that we can pay attention. Once we pay attention, it's kind of like, I ask myself a lot of questions. Why is this showing up in my life? And then from that, it's like, whoa, I can make some changes here. but we have to bring it to the surface. So working with the spreads and working with the cards, it's a nice way to bring things that have been dormant or hidden that may not be aware of, but they need to be addressed so that we can shift and transform into a better version of ourselves.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
and I feel also the physical is oftentimes a symptom of the emotional. So if we
True.
can deal with the emotional, then we can heal physically
Yeah,
and
no
bring it
lie
back to power
detected
to heal.
there, right? No lie detected there. We have this running conversation with the groups that every time that I got sick when my kids were little, everyone would be like, "Oh, you're doing too much. This is spirit's way of telling you to slow down." And I'd be like, "No, my kids are in preschool. They got a cold. This is called Tara getting the cold." And so we would laugh at that because people like to make everything about spirituality. Everything that happens is spiritual, but I believe that everything that happens has a spiritual tinge to it because we are spirit having a human experience, but it is our human experience that is more important,
Mhm.
right? So when you come into that space and you're saying, yeah, our mental stuff is making our physical stuff, absolutely. Spirit is just waiting us to get off our butts and fix it,
Yeah, and
right?
I think the messages gets louder and louder if you keep ignoring them. Like I ended up on all fours on the floor with a kidney stone, trying to.
Oh,
So it's
boo.
like, you get little nudges and then you ignore, and then they tap a little louder, and then it's like, okay, now I can't ignore this. I have to pay attention to it and address it. So.
No, fair enough. On, so moving into the idea of, our spiritual journeys and the work that we're doing and how we're always growing and learning. And I always make this question sound so convoluted, but is there anything that you have learned on your spiritual journey that you wish you had known before you started your spiritual journey?
So, for me, my experience has been a lot about the wounds of abandonment. So I have to be grateful for the experiences, because that has taught me it took me into self appreciation.
Mm,
So that was the journey to self love and self appreciation, and then from that, it's learning to be your best company, and everything else is a bonus. So
right.
if we're comfortable with ourselves, then and then if I operate from my heart, then there's no compromise. So
True.
then I'm whole. I feel more whole. I'm always whole, but it's no longer a concept. It's an integration of that.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Carol, you have just this lovely nature about you, very down to earth. I come in like the bull in the china shop. You come in like the beautiful, Zen lotus flower. uh, I think people need to know how to find you. I think they need to know how they can go look at those cards and see what resonates with them. And how do they find you, Carol?
So I'm on the best thing is linktree/soulfuljoyfulliving.com. Soulful joyful living. Sorry. And then I'm actually with Gina and San Grace, which is a colleague and another healer, and Rosemary. We're actually about to launch on Patreon. It's called Links, which is Love Your Next Expression Community. So
Ah,
we're about to launch in June, so we're excited about that. So this is another platform where we'll be sharing a lot of information, a lot of healing possibilities. So we're looking forward to doing that. So.
very exciting. So, everyone, do not worry. We will have all her links down below. And I'm excited for you, celebrating you and your endeavors with your fellow practitioners. I know that you're going to continue to be a part of my world. I can just feel it with every ounce of my being. Carol, thank you so much for joining us tonight or
Thank you
tonight,
for having
today.
me.
We're all stumbling over the
Time is
words.
illusionary.
right? And to the Spirit Essence Gang, make sure you go and check out Carole's platform. Make sure you go and check out my podcast with the beautiful Nancy Christine Brady, Spirit Angels and Guides. Oh my. And join Empowering Intuitive Souls. This is the private Facebook group where I have all the different practitioners that I love to work with come in, give content, give some value. Make sure you're watching the Facebook pages and the website to see what other events we have coming up. And Carole, again, I wish you nothing but the best, and Spirit is always working with us, not for us.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Okay, Spirit Essence Gang, we're out of here. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.